on to the next training. You know, ladies and gentlemen, there are multiple ways that you can build your online business. Now, the very first way, of course, which happens to be the best way, that's tapping into that network of people that you know, as we call your warm list, or people that you actually know. Now, of course, the second way is tapping into a cold list, people that you do not know, meaning that you attract their information through some type of lead generation company, whether it be you're purchasing leads, you're purchasing some type of email campaign list, or maybe you're generating your own traffic, your own leads, people that you don't know that you have to actually establish some type of rapport with or relationship with. Now, let me move back over to the very first one. Again, the foundation of this industry has always said, work with the people or introduce people to your business that you actually know. Studies show and prove that people that know you are 100 times more likely to actually purchase something or join your opportunity because there's some sort of rapport, some sort of trust that's actually has been established. It's no different than, you know, if you call up a friend of yours and you tell them about this opportunity, most likely they're going to be a lot more interested in hearing what you have to say. Many of them will probably join you because of their relationship with you, versus a total stranger that you meet in line at a supermarket. Even if you're having to get that person's information, you're going to have to now establish a line of trust there before you can even begin trying to funnel them into your business presentation. And so we're going to discuss, you know, the ways of getting started with that. Let's stay with the people that you know. Here's the best thing that you need to do. I tell people, let's start off by making this simple. Now, the very first thing is you need to put yourself together a list of 10 people. The 10 most people that you would love to work with. You know, maybe they're a relative. Maybe they're a good friend of yours that has always been business-minded. Every time you see them, they're looking mighty sharp. They just have a certain type of presentation about themselves, and you know if they got involved in this business, they're better than you. They would probably take off and build this thing extremely fast. Those are the type of people that I want you to think about. Maybe it's your pastor that you come across with on Sundays you have a good relationship with. Maybe it's that person every time you go to the dry cleaners, the business owner there. Again, think of all the people that you would love to do business with, but we're going to start off by doing just 10 names. So go ahead and write 10 names down. Now, of those 10 names that you've written down, what I want you to do is to go ahead out of that list and let's pick your top 3. Who are the first 3 people that we want to introduce to your business opportunity? So go ahead and maybe put a bullet by each 3. You don't even have to rank them 1, 2, and 3. Just put a bullet by the top 3. If you happen to have 4, then go ahead and just put a bullet by 4 of them. But we're going to work through this top 10 list first. Now, after you have actually done that, I now want to go ahead and challenge you that over the next 48 hours, we're going to continue to build this list. So here's my thing is, now is going to be a great time for you over the next 48 hours to actually grab one of your address books, grab your cell phone, your Rolodex, anything that you maybe have stored tons of numbers in from people that maybe you have friends, family that you haven't talked to in a very long time. Well, now's a good time to write their names down. Think of any and everybody. Think of your Facebook account. Think of your Yahoo account. Think of your MySpace account, your Twitter account. All these different things that you use on a daily basis that you have a lot of people's information captured on, people that you have good relationships with. Again, we're going to now move to trying to put together a list of 100 people that you would like to introduce this business opportunity to. Now, here's the thing. Because of technology now, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you there's a lot of different methods and ways that we can introduce people to it. Most of the times, the old school approach is you have to pick up the phone and drive over to the person's house and actually sit down with them. Now, because of the tools that we have, there's so many different ways and techniques that you can use to expose your people to your business. So I want to talk about that, exposures. Well, Marcus, what is an exposure? An exposure happens to be any form of a presentation that's going to give a person an idea of what you're actually doing. So an exposure can be maybe you have a nice brochure that you can hand them. Maybe somebody has put together a nice business presentation. You can forward that through an email to them. Maybe you have conference training calls or that you can funnel someone to where there's a live presenter talking about the business opportunity. Maybe that company has a sizzle call that you can simply send somebody to a 3-minute overview where they do a nice little sizzle, which means they talk about the business, the opportunity, as well as the products, and they do it in a very short period of time. Again, exposure can be a DVD, a CD talking about the business opportunity. Any type of tool that's going to give credibility to what you're saying is what you're going to want to use. One of the biggest mistakes and the common mistakes that I see in this industry is a lot of people, they talk too much. Yes, you may have a gift in talking. You love to talk. Well, Marcus, I just can't control it. I love to talk. I will tell you, watch how much you talk to people. Always learn to be more of an usher. And simply what I'm saying is, put yourself together a nice 30-second commercial, enough to get people interested in what you have to say. Learn how to funnel them to some sort of the exposures in which I just talked about. That is so important. By doing that, it's going to give credibility more to the company, because one of the biggest issues that you have to understand, and again, we're still working on the people that we know here, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you talk about people that you know, many of them, they're going to love you, they respect you, but at the same time, especially when you're even talking about your family and friends, they're going to know you as Jenny that worked at the pizza parlor. They're going to know you as Jermaine that used to cut hair off of 22nd Street. So my thing is to you, be excited about this business, but at the same time, understand that family is going to know you and remember you when you were not maybe successful. And I can tell you, it doesn't matter how successful you are. I share stories all the time with people. Even with the success that I've had, I've become one of the top 10 income earners for a company before. And I remember, when I was sharing with my family and friends what was happening financially to me. And matter of fact, many of them know that I have been full-time in this industry for the last 4 years. I've helped develop teams that have reached over 30,000 people worldwide. Still, they're sitting there sometimes scratching their head, but it's because of the fact that you have to expose them to one of the exposures. So again, it doesn't matter how successful you are now. Remember, you always want to funnel someone into a presentation that's going to do a much better job and give credibility to what it is that you're trying to share with that family member or with that friend or with that coworker. Again, the tools. I know that I'm hammering this and I'm repeating myself, but it's important to use the tools. That's what's going to give you the success and give you the momentum that you're looking for. So with that said, we're going to skip down to the next training and we'll move forward.